Lloyd Edric Chetram, also known as Babu and Caesar, of Brothers St. John, passed away on Friday 11th March 2022 at the age of 71. He was the brother of Valentine and Keith Chetram, nephew of Rosalind Julian in the UK, brother-in-law of Brenda and Louise Chetram, uncle of many including Jason, Judy, Janice Chetram Hagley, Jerry, Sharon, Lyndon, Sherry, Ken, Ian, Kay, Ricky, Robbie and Jeanette Chetram, Beverly Chetram Dolland, Rolda Chetram Justine, and Daniel, also known as Bubby in the United Kingdom. Uncle-in-law of many including Ken Hagley, Akima Fraser, David Justine, Evelyn Dolland, Suti Chetram, Lexan Chetram, Bibi Husman Chetram, and Casey Eben Chetram. Many other relatives and friends including the Sanderson, Chitterman, Perryman, Ragbasing, Duranjit, Harford, Chetram, Julian and Harriman families, the Rajman family in Tobago, the Roberts family in Grenada, the UK and the USA, Shireen Amanda Wall, Pastor Robert Mathena and family, members of the Faith Independence Baptist Church Loretto, Lester Simpson, Nurse Marcia Jones, Laura Joseph, the Alexis family, and friends and neighbors of brothers and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Lloyd Edric Chetram, also known as Babu and Caesar, of Brothers St. John, will take place on Friday, April 1st at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Open Bible Church, Grove St. John, and interment will be at the Douglaston Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Veronica Dola Horsford, née Bascom, of Retreat St. David, passed away on Tuesday, 8th March 2022, at the age of 94. She was the mother of Yvette Lowe, Gregory Bascom, Bernadette Fall, Richard Horsford, Marcia Hazard, Matthew and Sharon Horsford, stepmother of Martin Lumpress, grandmother of Nigel, Neil and Neela Duncan, Rodlin Lowe, Winston and Randy Bascom, Sophia Charles, Michelle, Rachel and Marcel Horsford, Marcel Hazard, and Quinton, great-grandmother of 25. Many nieces and nephews, including Daphne Bascom, Eric Bascom, Teresa Edwards, Gloria Mitchell, Philip George, and Leon Mitchell. Mother-in-law of Claudia Bascom, Janice and Belinda. Sister-in-law of Lawrence Francis, Clarice Charles, Gwen, Tony, and Joan Murray. Other relatives and friends including Raleigh Jessamy, Dandley Bascom, the Bascom family of Felix Park, Happy Hill and River Road, the Latouche, Horsford and Felix families, and neighbors and friends of Retreat, Pomrose, Felix Park, and De Blando. The funeral of the late Veronica Dola Horsford, née Bascom, of Retreat St. David, will take place on Monday, April 4th at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Martin de Porres Roman Catholic Church, Crowshoe, St. Andrew, and interment will be at the Churchyard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Ian Redhead, also known as Flyers, of Hillsborough Street, who resided at Melville Street and Archibald Avenue, St. George's, son of the late Betha and Pat Redhead, passed away on Friday, 11th March 2022, at the age of 63. He was well known as the founder and editor of Tackle Sports magazine. He is survived by his devoted wife Deborah, children Ian DeCoto, Zaya Bourne, Adayinka and Oksana Redhead, proud grandfather of Ziana, Zuri and Zacharias, daughter-in-law Rocio Mota DeCoto, dearly missed by his siblings Rosamond residing in England and Nigeria, Annette and Patty residing in Grenada, Margaret also known as Git, the late Adrian also known as Pencil, Gordon also known as Police, and John also known as Pussy residing in the United States, and Trevor also known as Bessie residing in Canada. He will be lovingly remembered by his mother-in-law Yvonne Alexander, father-in-law Lloyd Alexander, many nieces, nephews, sisters-in-law and brothers-in-law, other relatives including the Charles, Hopkin and Marichaux families, close friend of Sammy Braffett and family, and Raphael Arthur in the United States, Ruggles and Tammy Ferguson, Nazim Burke, Merle and Jeffrey Bayer, Randolph Peters and family, Nurse Clouden and family, Clem John, Margaret Matushek, Noel Thomas in Canada, and other loved ones. The funeral service for the late Ian Redhead, also known as Flyers, of Hillsborough Street, who resided at Melville Street and Archibald Avenue, St. George's, will take place on Wednesday, April 6th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, St. George's, and interment will be at the Top Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Velma Ada Murray of Monterey St. Patrick, who resided at Grenville Street, St. George, passed away on Friday, 4th March, at the age of 71. She was the mother of Joyce Murray Allen, also known as Verna in the USA, Jerry Murray, Nigel Murray, and Louise Murray, grandmother of Brandon Murray, Kenny Allen, and Kai Murray in the USA, Danielle Patrice, Shimron Millett, Shanika Regis, and Lamont Murray, sister of Patricia Belgrave, Stafford Murray, Michael Murray, Glenna Evans in Trinidad, Yolande Ledlow, Terrence Ruby, and Ricky Murray, mother-in-law of Isona Regis, and Rodnisha Joseph Murray, aunt of 23 including Paul Belgrave, Josanne Murray, Rhea Murray, Nola Murray, Shannon and Shakima Ledlow, Nadine Paul and Jarrell Murray, grand aunt of 43, niece of Priscilla Smart, Osbert Charles and Pat Lynn, sister-in-law of Bobby Lynn Murray, Joseph Ledlow, Yvonne Murray, Anthony Evans, numerous cousins, other relatives and friends including Merlin David in the USA, Edward and Meryl Lord, Mr. and Mrs. Allen in the USA, the Smart, Julian, Murray and Mungo families, Cindy Phillip, Pansy Barito, Maggie Pearl, Daphne, Anne Merriman, Peggy, Juliet Ducoto, staff of GCNA, friends and neighbors of Monterey St. Patrick, and Grenville Street, St. George. The funeral service of the late Velma Ada Murray of Monterey St. Patrick, who resided at Grenville Street, St. George, will take place on Thursday, 7th April at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Archibald Avenue, St. George's, and entombment will be at the St. George's Center Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lockwell Brothers Funeral Home. Sebastian Francis Richardson, also known as Sibo of Tivoli St. Andrew, he was well known as a farmer, passed away on Monday, 14th March at the age of 62. He was a father of 5, Kesta, Tessa in Canada, Alana in Trinidad, Jamal and Shebi, brother of 6, Augustine resided in the USA, and Lawson resided in Canada, sister of 5, Ennis, Joycelyn resided in the USA, and Teresa resided in Canada, grandfather of 6, Norrell, Jonathan, Carlon, Janaya, Shiloh, and Kimura, great-grand of 2, son-in-law of John, uncle of many including Reginald and Evan resided in the UK, Perlin, Alwyn, Kendall, and Lynthia resided in the USA, Claude resided in Canada, Gavin, Kelly, Enzo, Agnes, Jerry, Ryan, Patricia, Rasta Sweet, Linwal, and Kelson. Other relatives and friends including the Richardson family of Montridge, the Mann family of Chantamel, close friends of Tivoli, Lapotrie, and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Sebastian Francis Richardson, also known as Sibo of Telescope St. Andrew, will take place on Thursday, April 7th at 2 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the Tivoli Roman Catholic Church, Tivoli St. Andrew, and interment at the Tivoli Cemetery. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Raymond Toussaint, also known as Tuss, of Pearl St. Andrew, who resided in Westerhall St. David, passed away on Monday, 28 March, at the age of 58. The funeral arrangements for the late Raymond Toussaint, also known as Tuss, of Pearl St. Andrew, who resided in Westerhall St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Ambrose Emmanuel Sylvester, also known as Boulay, of Molyneux St. George, passed away on Wednesday, 23rd March 2022, at the age of 96. The funeral arrangements for the late Ambrose Emmanuel Sylvester, also known as Boulay, of Molyneux St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Lucille Maxime, also known as Alcina Chase, of Grand Anse St. George, died on Wednesday, 23rd March 2022, at the age of 82. The funeral arrangements for the late Lucille Maxime, also known as Alcina Chase of Grand Anse St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Carlisle James, also known as Black Boy and Baggy, of Beaulieu St. George, died on Tuesday, 22nd March 2022, at the age of 69. The funeral arrangements for the late Carlisle James, also known as Black Boy and Baggy, of Beaulieu St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Daphne Joseph, also known as Dati, of Latente St. David, passed away on Wednesday, 16th March 2022, at the age of 87. The funeral arrangements for the late Daphne Joseph, also known as Dati, of Latente St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Leonard Abraham Macmillan, also known as Leonard Gludd, and Tarway, of Bellevue St. David, passed away on Saturday, 19th March 2022, at the age of 68. The funeral arrangements for the late Leonard Abraham Macmillan, also known as Leonard Gludd, and Tarway, of Bellevue St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Edward Mordred Roberts, also known as E.M. Roberts of Belmont St. George, died on Saturday, 19th March 2022, at the age of 86. The funeral arrangements for the late Edward Mordred Roberts, also known as E.M. Roberts of Belmont St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Teresa Cummings, also known as Carmen, of Beaulieu St. George, passed away on Saturday, 19th March 2022, at the age of 81. The funeral arrangements for the late Teresa Cummings, also known as Carmen, of Beaulieu St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Paul Joseph, also known as Preacher, of Cemetery Hill St. George's, passed away on Thursday, 17th March 2022, at the age of 73. The funeral arrangements for the late Paul Joseph, also known as Preacher, of Cemetery Hill St. George's, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Agnes Barry, also known as Loyola, of La Fortune St. Patrick, who resided in the USA, passed away on Saturday, 12th March 2022 in Canada, at the age of 77. The funeral arrangements for the late Agnes Barry, also known as Loyola, of La Fortune St. Patrick, who resided in the USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Anita Blackett, also known as Mama Nita, of Pedmotar St. David, passed away in Trinidad at the age of 89. The funeral arrangements for the late Anita Blackett, also known as Mama Nita of Pedmotar St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Sybil Matilda Roberts, also known as Mama and Pitty, of New Hampshire St. George, passed away on Sunday, 13th March 2022, at the age of 81. The funeral arrangements for the late Sybil Matilda Roberts, also known as Mama and Pitty, of New Hampshire St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Teresa Smith, also known as Farmo, of Carriere, who resided at Telescope St. Andrew, passed away on Thursday, 17th March 2022, at the age of 84. The funeral arrangements for the late Teresa Smith, also known as Farmo, of Carriere, who resided at Telescope St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes.
George Ferguson of Shantimel St. Patrick died on Sunday, 13th March, at the age of 73. The funeral arrangements of the late George Ferguson will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Monica Cynthia Knight Martin, affectionately known as Monix, of Mountmorot St. George, passed away on Sunday, 6th March 2022, at the age of 87. The funeral arrangements for the late Monica Cynthia Knight Martin, affectionately known as Monix of Mountmorot St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Veronica Horsford, née Bascom, of Retreat St. David, who resided in the USA, passed away on Tuesday, 8th March 2022, at the age of 94. The funeral arrangements for the late Veronica Horsford, née Bascom, of Retreat St. David, who resided in the USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes.
Joseph Peterson of Shantimel St. Patrick, who resided in the United Kingdom, passed away on Friday, 25th February in the UK at the age of 87. The funeral arrangements of the late Joseph Peterson of Shantimel St. Patrick, who resided in the United Kingdom, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
In memory of Chad Joseph Edghill of Grand Mall St. George, who resided in New York and passed away on March 29, 2012 at the age of 24. He was laid to rest on April 12, 2012. Left to cherish his memory are his mom, Myrna Anne-Marie Joseph, grandmother Gillian Catherine Joseph, many aunts and uncles including Tessa Edghill Gittins, Rachel and Bernadette Joseph, and numerous other family members and friends. Don't think of him as gone away. His journey's just begun. Life holds so many facets. This earth is only one. Just think of him as resting from the sorrows and the tears, in a place of warmth and comfort, where there are no days and years. Think how we must be wishing that we could know today how nothing but our sadness can really pass away. And think of him as living in the hearts of those he touched. For nothing loved is ever lost, and he was loved so much. Funeral arrangements were entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
In loving memory of Peter Alexander, also known as Sir Pete of Birchgrove St. Andrew, who departed this life on 31st March 2020 at the age of 85. Remembered daily by his children Adolphus Daniel, Anselm, Alina, and Anita. Grandchildren Andia, Andre, Antoine, Tony, Tyrone, Mikali, Jakia, Jabari, Lyndon, Laurie, and Lavon. Family and friends, we knew so little that morning that God will call your name. In life we loved you dearly, in death we do the same. It broke our hearts to lose you. You did not go alone, for a part of us went with you the day God called you home. You left us beautiful memories. Your love is still our guide. And though we cannot see you, you are always by our side. Our family chain is broken and nothing seems the same. But as God calls us one by one, the chain will link again. Rest in peace.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thanks for watching.
I am Godwill James, an MD and a member of Gateway Assembly. Medically, death is regarded as an end or a cessation of life. Different groups view death in different perspectives. While some regard death as a continuation of life, others view it as an infeeble form of life. As a Christian, we may want to view death as a separation of the soul from the body. So, whichever way one may view death, I want to say that may the gentle soul of the faithful departed rest in the bosom of the Lord. Amen.